What's up, y'all? It's your boy Pariah, and I'm back with another one. I'm dropping bangers on bangers, y'all. So we got this one here, because they make content for people like us every day. Biracial exotical bonds with Raven Simone over light skin privilege. Let's get into it. And she looks familiar, if I'm not mistaken. She looks real good, though. Cute mulatto.
Of you because we're both light skinned. Exactly.
Uh-oh. Oh, it was the best day of my life. Oh my god, it's so crazy. I love you.
So sweet.
I wrote tissue.
I just pictured myself like 7 years old telling you that. I'm like, oh my god, that's crazy.
Now I have to show you a picture that my mom put in my purse before I left of us when we met on the set of Corey in the House, and she also shoved multiple things in there. Okay, they're all in my purse.
Do you have them all?
Yes.
Those are right now. Sign it on camera. Rarely do I say this is the photo.
Oh yeah, that's the baby girl.
I showed her that photo, and Raven still has that. I still have that. Do you really? It's a lot.
I remember this.
Here's the CD. Hilarious with that. Thank you so much.
Wow.
I have a About the Raven DVD.
I'll sign that.
Easy.
Oh, gotta love the two girls.
Oh my god, babe, your face is so cute.
Such a girl.
It's like,
I still do that.
I have 2 books, and this one was given to me by Kyle for my 8th birthday, and he signed the back
Wow, Kyle, that's
Yeah.
not even your show.
Wait, psyched?
He's on the cover.
Oh, that's fair.
Bring it on, Shirley, said Raven.
There you go. You don't have to sign all of them.
Oh no, this is fun.
Okay, am I the first person to bring 8 different
Yeah,
pieces of
even-
physical memorabilia
Ever.
from 2005?
This is so
Studio.
cool.
Great.
The pages are yellowed.
She's vintage.
Boy likes girl. Girl likes boy. They both die. Cry, cry, cry. The end. Said Raven.
Period.
Yes, that was a poem that I did in school.
Oh my god.
Literally.
Oh.
Hey.
Yes.
Hey.
Raven, wait, place them.
That is crazy. They just in there cutting up. They cutting it up, chopping it up, whatever you want to call it. But you notice how it's just women, right? That's talking about this privilege thing. Is just women, right? Bunch of light-skinned men couldn't sit in the room, or mulatto and light-skinned men couldn't sit in the room and talk about their light-skinned privilege. That could never happen, ever.
So obviously Raven Simone has made a name for herself
The women get privileges, not us.
over the years. I remember her from The Cosby Show, but even after Cosby, she had a ton of success. I mean, she had her own television show, That's So Raven, and just many other appearances. And so she really did influence a generation of women, as she was growing up. But with that said, what stood out to me about this interview wasn't necessarily the mentorship that we saw between Raven Simone and Madison Pettis, I think her name is, and just ultimately the way she really looked up to Raven Simone and really saw her as responsible for much of her success. But it was the comment about them being light-skinned and the fact that they connected on the light-skin experience. And I really wanted to talk about that because I felt like this touches upon a common discussion we see among Black women in general, and that is colorism, features, and texturism. And here we have a prime.
You heard what she just said, right? The women, the women, the women, the women. You heard that, right? She said the women. Because like I said, the men, we couldn't sit in a room and just talk about that. That couldn't ever happen. If we bond through something like that, being light-skinned, it's through our struggles. Our struggles. We don't bond through privileges. We bond through struggle. But y'all notice that women. See, I'll be right about a lot of shit.
Example of 2 light-skinned women, arguably multiracial, whatever, but basically lighter-skinned women who probably would fit into the exotic category, like low-key laughing and joking, but also, making a comment about their light-skin privilege being largely responsible for their success, right? They didn't say that openly, but they definitely took a jab at it. And I honestly think that was more of a joke, but it does speak to I think it actually speaks to a strange place that many lighter skinned people or exoticals actually find themselves in. In one sense, maybe feeling or recognizing that they do have privileges in certain regards, that they do have certain access to things that they may not if they were perceived in a darker shade, but also at the same time feeling very much isolated as well. I mean, if you go
Not a darker shade. Imagine if they were light skinned men. Imagine if Raven Simone was a light skinned man and the mulatto chick in there was a mulatto man. We wouldn't be in there talking about, yeah, I'm light skinned and I got this and I got no. We gonna be in there, yeah, man. Yeah, these monoracials, da 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 da. Yeah, man. Like, this shit is crazy. I don't want people to think, this is the women like them. And it's not even all the women. It's women like them. It ain't everybody. All of us don't think like that.
to the tragic mulatto syndrome, I mean, that is a prime example, right? These were lighter skinned people who were the product at the time of oftentimes African enslaved women and white slave masters, and they were oftentimes given privileges of certain things, but at the same time never really fully fit into any place. So that is something that I found that lighter skinned people and sometimes even mixed race people struggle with today. And by the way, this doesn't just impact, multiracial or biracial people. Like, this also can impact people who are fully black, but just happen to be lighter skinned. Like, I can even think, for example, my sisters. I have two sisters. I have a sister that would be considered darker skinned. I probably be considered brown skinned. And then I have another sister that would be considered light skinned. And we all have different experiences when it comes to these things. So again, what I found so interesting about this was the acknowledgement that they had, and probably also that kindred experience that possibly made it easier for them to connect. Also, I want to acknowledge, like, there are very many dark skinned people who actually they complain about the fact that there is not a lot of positive dark skin representation in the media. And honestly, I think they're right. Many of the complain.
You're lying like shit. There's a bunch of dark skin representation in the media. What the fuck is you talking about? You lying like hell. They got a bunch of representation in the media. Man, what about light skinned men? We don't have or mulatto men. We don't have representation in the media. It's the women do, not us. Dark skinned people got representation in the media. Like,
Heard from like Mayo's World, things like that. Even Chrissy,
look, you got Sukiyana. Look at that. Y'all got Sexy Red. Come on now. Y'all got all these people.
Many things that she says, they are right that there is not a ton of, there's maybe not the best representations of darker skinned people in the media, but I mean, all
the best. But that's what y'all put out there. The hood, the ghetto shit, the gangbanging shit. That's what y'all put out there. And yeah, there's some successful, Bantus out there that ain't into that.
There is a reason for that. Like, to me, it's not surprising that if you live in a Western society that, the European values are essentially the norm. Like, it's not surprising that as a minority, you would have minority appeal, and that people who are more closely aligned to European aesthetics are going to be more favored, aka those who are lighter, or aka those who have alkaline, finer features, or those features that may be considered more quote,
not a man.
So it's not surprising to me that lighter skinned people, or those who seem more acceptable.
Don't say people, say women, lighter skinned women. Don't say lighter skinned people, where the lighter skinned men are not acceptable to society. They want us exterminated. Lighter skinned women.
White audience have more media representation. Like, that's not surprising at all. That's actually to be expected when you understand the history of this country. And I honestly think that, like, the best solution for those like dark-skinned people, dark-skinned women in particular, who really do want to see more representation, to want to be the standard, or at the very least have more representation, it's like really the only way, in my opinion, to do that is actually through nationalism. Like, if you're a person where you believe that you want to be the standard, you want to be there, it's like, well, then you should be about nationalism, or you should be at the very least putting yourself in black nations or black countries, going to places where blackness is the standard, or supporting people or supporting organizations or realities who are about creating black industries.
Light skinned people need to pander to themselves. What about mulatto stuff? That's what I'm on, mulatto stuff. I'm supporting mulatto people and mulatto businesses, mulatto stuff in the story, light skin stuff.
Supporting those who are about building their own movie studios, supporting those people who are about creating their own modeling agencies. Like, you should be.
To all my mulatto people out there, hold on. We need modeling agencies, we need movie studios, we need all of that. Like I said, we got no type of representation out here. They already have representation. They have studios and shit set out for them. We don't. That's the thing. We have to go to a monoracial set. We gotta make our own set. Our own stuff. Anyway, let's keep going.
You should be connected to those who are about building societies and realities that are for black people. Like, that is, to me, that's the only
mulatto
people.
people.
There's not going to be reality in a white society where black people become a standard or are given an equal share of opportunity. Like, that's just like, I don't ever really see that happening. Like, as long as capitalism exists and as long as we exist in a system where there has to be winners and losers in order for the system to thrive, then like there's always going to be a level of hierarchy. So that's what I'm saying. I think like that is like people who are.
Now with that part, yeah, the government's going to use every group, every racial group as pawns to keep them afloat. But mulattoes and mulattoes and light-skinned people, we shouldn't be pandering to racist monoracial groups who don't accept us and who exclude us from their stuff. But let's keep it going.
Serious about that, one who really serious about that would actually be more inclined or more interested in connecting into spaces that are like truly black. You know what I mean? And then if you're not like, if
truly
you are not
mulatto,
that person, then I actually think it's a better strategy to collaborate with the exoticals or to collaborate with those who are mixed race, because they're probably going to be the ones who are more likely.
I love them. Them two, I love them, y'all. Y'all need to watch them. Keenan and Kel, I think. But they were two comedians. I used to watch their shows. They always put on wigs like what I got right now, like braid wigs. You will see them too on the show wearing shit like what I got in my hair. But this is my real hair though. My shit really like this. But you'll see them like a mulatto with braids in his hair, acting like a thug or some shit, or just acting crazy. But yeah, these two guys are funny though. I like them. But I think they be trying to. But I'm not that. Whatever. So don't get it twisted. When they play these mulatto guys with, don't think of me, y'all. Do not think of me. I do crash out, but don't think of me. You know?
Or who are more inclined to actually want to help or give you representation. Even if I go back to the tragic mulatto stereotype, right, which refers to the, you know, the child of the, refers to, you know, the child that was born from oftentimes an enslaved African woman and a white slave owner. Oftentimes you saw those people having to pick a side. Either they would side with their white side and, you know, kind of help with just continue colonization and all that kind of different stuff, or they would side with the slaves and they would be about resisting. They would be about trying to help, trying to free slaves. And so
she got a picture of Frederick Douglass. Okay. But guys, like I said, we've been siding along with monoracial people too long. We need to side with each other. To all my mulattoes and mulattas and light-skinned people, we need to side with each other. I know we got black relatives and white relatives, and we can still love them, but still we have to side with each other against these other random monoracial people. I mean, why can't light-skinned dudes all hang out with each other? You see white dudes all hang out with each other. You see dark-skinned dudes all hang out with each other. You see Hispanic dudes all hang out with each other. You see, and then you see a bunch of mixed or light mulatto or light-skinned dudes trying to hang along like in between all of them. Nah, how about we form our own shit? How about we be a bunch of light? You know what I'm saying? Same thing with the women.
what you'll see is that, while there are some multiracial people who try to embrace the fullness, the reality is many of them are put in positions where they're forced to choose, especially if they're a black man. If it's a multiracial black man, many times he is othered, right? And so I'm just saying,
multiracial black man, they love grouping us back into blackness. They love it.
like to me, a smarter strategy is to collaborate with those who may have greater access in the system that you want representation, because I think you're more likely to get help from them, those who may have some.
Sorry, man, but they don't want to collaborate with people like us. That ain't going to happen. The women like her, they want to fuck them and turn them out, and the men, they want to kill us and tear us down. Look what they did to Drake. And all these other light-skinned and mulatto people.
Form of maternal or paternal or blood connection with you, then or expecting white media to promote you in the same way that they may promote their own community. So to me, like I said, in my opinion, that is the best way to do it if you are not about trying to build your own reality or support those who are ultimately building a reality that's a reflection of you. So anyways, y'all, that's what I have. Those are my thoughts. But what do you think? Do you agree or do you disagree? Let me know down in the comment section. Thank you so much for listening if you've gotten this far, and we'll talk later. Bye.
I'm really...
See, people leave out the treatment that light-skinned and mulatto people get from the black community, especially if you're not acting like a thug or pandering. But like I said, y'all, we should come together and start forming our own community and hang out with each other and stuff like that, See how these monoracials try to get us to pick a side. They try to group you back into blackness or whiteness or whatever. But really, we're just mulattoes, man. Or light-skinned people, a product of mulattoes. So, with that being said, this wasn't a bad video, but there's no light skin privilege. You see women talk about stuff like that. You wouldn't catch a light skinned man talking about stuff like that. There are no privileges with us. We'll talk about struggles though. Struggle, that's how we bond through our struggles. But anyway, y'all tune in for the next one. Pariah out.